How's it going, guys? I want to do a video here, an important video about the advancement of my life, where I am at in terms of what stage of my education and me growing up and stuff. I say growing up as if I'm still a kid. 20 years old, all right, and I am just next semester I will be getting my AA, right, my associate's degree. I'm having a Carl's Jr., by the way. And I freaking got my order wrong, but it's been a good day so far, so I'm not going to let that ruin it. They got my order wrong. And they didn't even put the right stuff on the burger itself, so. I wanted a chicken club sandwich. They gave me a turkey burger. How you can get those two mixed up, I don't even know. I even said the number on the menu, but still. Where I am at right now in terms of this stage of my life is I'm just about to finish with my general ed. And right now, I'm planning to transfer to get my major. Now, the big question is that a lot of you guys have, and it's a question that I've had to myself for a long time now. And I didn't know what the answer was. I didn't know what the answer was until, I don't want to say recently, because I always kind of secretly knew, but I come from that personality where I don't like to take risks, per se. You know, I don't like to just jump into a situation blindly, right? I want to make sure I know what I'm getting involved in. But I have such a creative mindset, a really creative mindset. You know, and I have such a distinct vision for what I do want this gaming industry to be like. And you guys know the type of games I like to play. Very intense, emotional, character-driven experiences. Games like the Uncharted series, Walking Dead from Telltale, Mass Effect, BioShock series, Deus Ex, Human Revolution. You know, I like those type of games that put an emphasis on their storytelling and that deliver very character-driven emotional experiences. Wolfenstein was one of those games too. Wolfenstein: The New Order. So, those are the type of games I like to play. Those are the type of games that I want to make. But the problem of where we're at right now in the industry is that, like myself, we're afraid to take risks. We're afraid to put lead female characters in our games. We're afraid to put openly homosexual characters in our games. We're basically afraid to put, I would even say that we're afraid to put black people in our games. It's like we're afraid to do anything that isn't just a generic white person with black hair. It's like the same basic standard character design. Very military, very, not really relatable in a sense, but a person you could look at, a person that you could look up to, and a person that is like almost a superhero, you know, but grounded in reality, of course. That's the biggest thing we're suffering right now in the industry, storytelling. And, you know, we go after the cinematic presentation, because so far we nailed that. In terms of the presentation of the games, we nailed the cinematic feel of it, the cinematic look of it. It looks like you're watching a movie. You go play Beyond Two Souls, it looks like you're watching an interactive movie, you know? That's essentially what it is. So, that is where we're at right now in the industry. It's unfortunate because games have such incredible potential to surpass movies in literally every form. I always liked the way I describe games is always like games take these cinematic, they combine the cinematic presentation of films without the limitations, or actually wait, here, let me try to word this better. They combine the strengths of books in terms of, their narrative. You can make a game however long you want. So you can combine the unlimiting effects that a book offers with its narrative with the cinematic presentation of films. If that makes sense. It's a good combination. Plus, adding that interaction with the viewer further immerses and involves the player and involves the person in the experience, thus resulting in a more personal experience, one that's more emotional too. So if you guys can decipher that jumble of words I just said to you guys, what I basically said is that games are movies without the limitation of the length of movies, and with the strengths of the narratives that books offer. So much presentation, so much potential. And we have there's a lot of young people who play video games and that don't see it that way, because they're younger and they just want to jump in there and have friends. But some of you guys who are understanding what I'm saying, understand the creative mindset, probably have that creative mindset too. My goal is to not just create the best third-person shooter, the best driving game, the best open-world action-adventure game, the best RPG, stealth action RPG. My goal is not to create the best of either of those games. My goal is rather to change this industry, to lead it in a new direction. Because we do need to absolutely lead it in a new direction. There's so much stupid-ass controversy surrounding this whole industry right now. You have Gamergate, you have, Anita Sarkeesian, you have the media as well, who get involved and they're, being paid to give reviews. There's so much bullshit happening right now with the industry. People aren't exactly happy with the next-gen consoles. Games don't run at native 1080p. Don't run at native 60 frames per second. There's just so much bullshit. And it's hard for someone who isn't involved in gaming to sift through the bullshit to find what the true passion is about, and to find how much, just to see how much potential it holds. It's unfortunate. I told you guys before I had game ideas, and I still think about them pretty often, right? But what I need to start doing right now is by next year, and the reason I say next year is because next year is going to be big for me, because if I'm going to be transferring for the fall, of next year, I need to have something planned. You know, it's one thing for me to say, or one thing for them to ask, why should I hire you? You know, I can explain to them, you know, pretty clearly that because I have this mindset, because I believe in this, and because I'm not some ordinary person who's just going to deal with or is just going to settle for whatever happens, you know? Because I'm going to change this industry. It's one thing for me to say that, but not back it up with anything. And that's what I need to do. I have YouTube here, and if anyone sees this, if any game developer sees this channel, they're going to see the passion. They're going to see vlogs like this, and they're going to understand, you know, the mindset that I come from, and that's obviously going to help me. But if I can back it up with, okay, I have this YouTube channel, but I also have, I have a script, I have a little portfolio for a game I would like to make. That would be better. So that's what I need to do. I need to write. I need to write a game synopsis. I need to write some quick overview of the story. What I mean by quick overview is pages and pages and pages and pages, like 30 pages. Not maybe, I don't know, but around there, like a lot of pages of a story overview for one of my game ideas. I need to present that. The reason I'm talking about this today is because I went to go see my counselor regarding transfers. And there was also a college fair going on at my community college that I attend. And I went to a few schools, or a few of the booths, you know, that were representing the schools. Really, I only went to one because I don't want to go to one. I know exactly where I want to go. I do now. I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly what I want to study. And I know exactly where I want to start. The school I want to go to is 7 minutes away from Naughty Dog. So how amazing would it be if I go to school there? After school, I get an internship at Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is, you know, obviously we all love Naughty Dog games, but just being able to learn there, I mean, keep in mind that Neil Druckmann, the writer and creative director of The Last of Us, became an intern in 2004, I believe he said, 2004. 2004, and in 8 years, 7, 8 years, he was able to work on The Last. Pretty much started after, so what, like 6 years. Pretty much 6 years, he was able to make his own game and write his own game. Under Naughty Dog, of course. See, the difference here is that I want my own studio. And the difference here is that I don't want to just work on one genre. All these game development studios, you know, you have Kojima, you know, brilliant guy. You have Ken Levine, brilliant writer. You have Neil Druckmann, who's also a brilliant writer. You have all these developers, Cliff Bleszinski as well. You know, all these developers. But the thing is, they're known for creating one game, one series, or creating a set of games in one genre. That is the difference. I don't want to just make third-person games. I don't want to just make RPGs. I have multiple different ideas. And I don't want to be independent either, you know, because independent, your resources are very restricted. And also without the proper marketing budget as well, you really have to rely on getting your game. I mean, look at what Robert Bowling is doing with Robotoki. I'm excited for Human Element that he's making. You know, I'm excited for it. And his development studio isn't that far from me at all. It's like probably like 20 minutes from my house. But it being independent, you haven't heard about Human Element at all. And it's supposed to be launching next year. So I want to be official third party under a publisher. And I know that some people are going to say, well, how are you going to get the publisher to agree to more or less let you make whatever game you want at any time with any, resource, And that comes in the form of just making good games in general. Naughty Dog themselves have creative freedom over whatever they want to do. Meaning if they decide, we're going to make a driving game, they can just make a driving game and Sony will back them no matter what. Because given their track record, if you look at all the games they made last generation were not only just critically acclaimed, were the best on that system, I mean, all of them scored, with the exception of Uncharted 1, which has like an 89 on Metacritic, every single one scored in the 90s. Mid to upper 90s on Metacritic. So we have a track record like that. Obviously, you're getting more creative freedom and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I want to make this vlog because I want you guys know that that's. I realized this kind of late, and it's basically moral of the story, moral of the vlog, is that do what you want to do, and I know people say this a lot. Do what you want to do and just fuck everyone else who says you can't do it. People say that a lot, but I strive to understand more so than just push away any given situation or person. So for me, I understand why some people would be worried, like, oh geez, what if you get laid off from the game development company, and then you have a degree in game development, you can't get a job anywhere else with a degree in game development. It's like it's not part of standard business. It's not part of this. It's like you're only proficient in that field. To which I say, that's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me because, first of all, I won't let it happen to me. But also, I know in myself that I can be the experiences that I can make can be extremely meaningful and valuable as well. So even though you got laid off, obviously you have to make the game first. It's not like I got a job 2 years later, I got laid off and I have nothing to show for it. That's different. But given the fact, I'm just saying that given the fact that I do create these experiences and they do turn out to be really well. And like I said, you guys know the type of games I like to play, so those are the type of games I would like to make. So, but everything, I just want to create. I want to create games that are part of multiple genres. I do want to create a third-person shooter. I do want to create a stealth action RPG. I do want to create a driving game. I do want to create an open-world game. And I want to create a game, the last game that I would ever make, the game that, unfortunately, today wouldn't be possible, but in the future will be, a game that will revolutionize storytelling and the whole gaming genre, for that matter. It would combine elements from Quantic Dreams sort of games with that cinematic presentation with all elements of the games I created before it. But its strength is within its storytelling, and its true strength is that it will create a story that has never been told before in games. A story that has very rarely been told in movies. Even films can't tackle it, right? It's a truly revolutionizing product, an entity, all right? Unfortunately, that has to be put off to the side because the world isn't ready for it. It wouldn't be okay. It wouldn't be fair to release it now. Not now. 10 years down the road, yeah, but I'll be working on other stuff. So by the time I get to it, maybe 15 years later, that would be an appropriate time. But I have to wait till what we have to wait for is this the latter generation of people to not necessarily move on, but to have them where they kind of are out of power. We're not running the country. Because my mindset is very different from a person who's 45, because of the way I've grown up with technology, with the internet, with all this. It's very different from a person who did grow up, way before, and that they see the whole transformation of the world, and there's different values, different morals. More people my age are open to different kinds of religion and people believing in whatever they want to believe. And people before us, generally, are people who, this is a religion, that's what I believe in, and fuck everyone else who doesn't believe in it. I'm not saying that that's everyone, but I'm just saying that that is a lot of people, to a certain extent. My father is not like that, but my father is he's very involved in the church, right, and Christian church. I never got involved because I just don't believe. I don't believe in everything the church stands for. I'm not an atheist, but I don't believe. I believe in free marriage, and I believe in the basic American principle. I don't mean to sound patriotic here, but I believe in the basic American principle that is freedom. That everyone should be allowed. Everyone's on equal grounds. Everyone should be allowed to do, or be whoever they want. And not one person is greater than another. And in religion, to an extent, there's restrictions on what you can be and what you can do, and I don't like anything restricting. So, I mean, I can worship my God on my own time, and I don't need to be involved in the church. I already know I'm a good person, so that's just what I believe. All right, and that's just the perspective that I come from. But people 40 years old, not 40, okay, but 30 years-ish, older than me, 30, 40 years older than me, 50 years even, they have a much different mindset just because that is the world, It's like if all you knew around you was your community, and, we know we have such a broad sense thanks to the internet that I have friends who live in England. I know some guy. I used to know some guy who was from Japan. It's like I have such a broad sense of people. Of people and different characteristics and values and cultures that it's just a part of lifestyle, and I like that. So I'm not gonna drag this video on any longer because it's already 20 minutes. But I just want to talk to you guys about that. And that was just something I realized today. That's something I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys will enjoy it. And as well, give me your thoughts. I don't know how many of you come from that creative mindset where you have that creative vision to create something. I don't know how many of you are actually aspiring to be game developers, all right? But I want to create games. I don't want to work on games. There's a difference. There's a difference between, I just want to make the graphics. I just want to be the artist. I want to create levels versus I want to write the story. I mean, they're both a creative position, but one's generally working on a game while the other's kind of guiding and making sure everything follows through with that mindset. So, but that's what I want to do. I want to create games. I don't want to work on them. So, but you have to start off somewhere, and as well, I do want the knowledge of what it's like to work on games. I want the knowledge of what the different programs are like, and what the process is like when you go through it to create something, and just different stuff like that. So I'm gonna end this video before it gets way too long. All right, have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you later, and